of the defenders behind Porcello. You've got Carlos Guillen in the outfield, in left field. First start out there since coming off the DL. In the infield, you've got Inge, you've got Everett, you've got Polanco and Cabrera. And Avila is behind the dish. And, of course, the Tigers defense is always presented by your Chrysler and Jeep Superstores.
So we've got Carlos Guillen out there in left field for the first time in a long time this year. It's the first time since he's been back off the disabled list. And we are ready for baseball. First pitch of the ball game from Rick Porcello. Misses high and away to Ichiro.
No glasses for Carlos out there, and I think he may be asking for some right now.
At left field is the Sun field, so is center right now. That's lifted foul, back out of play. Carlos Guillen staring into nothing but sunlight here in the early going.
He is asking Inge and also Everett for some help. He can't see a thing out there.
1-1 on Ichiro. He slaps one off the glove of Brandon Inge into short left. Everett will run it down, and Ichiro has himself a leadoff single.
Ichiro is so tough to defend. If you look at his straight chart, he hits the ball all over the ballpark. But this is a fastball that's kind of fading away from him. And you see where Brandon was playing. Brandon was playing about 2 feet in front of the bag because Ichiro also bunts for base hits down in that direction. If Inge is back 2 or 3 steps, he's able to catch that baseball. But you look how tough he is to defend the straight chart. He hits the ball all over the ballpark.
And so Ichiro certainly becomes a threat to run here. That is his league-leading 176th hit. There's a double play ball, perhaps hit to short. There's one. Here comes the relay. Nicely done. Porcello, who gets a ton of those, gets one early.
That is his 21st induced double play this year, which is second only to Mark Burley. That's amazing, though, for a guy 20 years old. You've got a speedster on first, but he also concentrates on making a real good pitch here to Branyan to get the ground ball and the double play. His mound presence for a young boy is off the charts.
You can breathe a little bit easier now as Jose Lopez steps in with the bases empty. Just underway on a gorgeous night here at the ballpark. It is 83 degrees at game time. Lopez, a very underrated hitter. He has 71 RBIs. That leads Seattle. And a good pitch by Porcello at 95 in the outside black.
That's what we've seen a lot of Porcello. And we were kind of wondering at the beginning of the year, when would we see that mid-90s fastball that we'd heard so much about as he was coming out of high school. But he's got it now.
Ground ball hit to the right side. Easy play for Cabrera, and that is that for Seattle. So Porcello off to a nice start. We'll go to the bottom of the first. No score. Tigers starting lineup presented by Big Boy Curtis Granderson leading it off in center field. Placido Polanco batting second at second base. Carlos Guillen is in left. You've got Cabrera, the newcomer Huff, and Thomas in the middle of the lineup. Your bottom three is Inge, Avila, and Everett. Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on Felix Hernandez. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
King Felix is a legitimate #1 starter. As a matter of fact, when he's on the mound, the Mariners are a championship caliber team. And when he's been out there against the Tigers, in his last 5, he's won all 5 with an earned run average under 2. But there is some light at the end of the tunnel. He's had some control issues his last 3 starts. He's walked 14 batters.
And we'll see if that's an issue here this evening against the Tigers team that is trying to improve on a very good home record this year.
You've got to hit Hernandez's fastball, and he will give you lots of fastballs early in the count. Because once he gets to his secondary pitches like that, you've got no chance.
Granderson, Polanco, and Guillen in the Tigers' first inning. Ooh, we got him on a nasty breaking ball. There's that secondary stuff you're talking about.
That's wicked. You've got to hit the fastball. If you get the fastball on the first pitch, whether it's inside or outside, you've got to be swinging at it. Look at the depth on this breaking ball. It starts at Curtis's letters and it ends up at his shoe tops.
Not a whole lot that Curtis could do there, but simply tote the bat back to the bench. Polanco looks at a strike. 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Felix.
Well, the Tigers have had a couple of real nice tune-ups for this start here tonight against King Felix. One would be Josh Beckett, who they saw last Wednesday in Boston. And, of course, Zach Greinke was here live in person at Comerica Park with the Kansas City Royals just a few days ago.
Here's the 1-1. Slice to right field, base hit. The one guy that is not intimidated by Felix is Polanco. He is now 7 for 16 against him.
Take a look at the Mariners defense presented by Honda. Bloomfield in the outfield. You've got Langerhans in left. You've got some serious talent and some guys can really run the ball down. And Ichiro might be the best throwing outfielder in all of baseball right now. Hanahan at third, Josh Wilson at short, Lopez at second, Branyan over at first, Rob Johnson behind the dish. And by now you know Felix Hernandez is on the mound.
Here's Ichiro. He possesses one of the better arms in the American League. There's Carlos Guillen playing in left field and batting in the 3 slot. Now, looking back to that series, or thinking back to that series against Kansas City, it seemed like the Tigers had a gazillion base runners, and they've now had at least one man on base in 20 consecutive innings. They had a lot of chances on Sunday, but could not get that big hit with men in scoring position. Ended up losing that game. Otherwise, they would have swept Kansas City. 2-0 on Mr. Guillen. Carlos 5 for 12 in that series against the Royals.
Yeah, these are the counts that you live for as a hitter, even though you're going up against a guy that's got tremendous stuff. Sit on that fastball and go after it.
Hernandez pumped one in, but it's fouled straight back. 2-1. 4 for 14 against Felix Hernandez.
These two were teammates this spring. They both played in the World Baseball Classic for Team Venezuela.
That's hit toward the shortstop on the backhand. Josh Wilson has it. And Polanco retreats. 1 gone, or 2 gone, rather.
Well, I told you that the Mariners, when they show up, they're a championship caliber team when Hernandez is on the mound. And these numbers are the reason. At 12 and 4, earned run average under 3. And he strikes out a ton. And he will give up a few home runs, and the opponent's batting average is .235 against King Felix.
So here's the heavyweight matchup. You've got Miguel Cabrera standing in at .330.
Anytime the Tigers get a runner on base today, and they need to be looking to advance 90 feet. Hernandez has thrown 14 wild pitches this year. 14 of them.
I guess that's an indication of how good his stuff is.
That breaking ball.
Yeah.
The breaking ball is wicked. The only other pitcher that's thrown more is A.J. Burnett, and he possesses that same type of filthy breaking ball, real hard breaking ball.
Well, Cabrera is another hitter in the Tigers lineup that is not intimidated at all by Felix Hernandez. 4 for 8 against him career. Swing and a miss. 2-1.
When a guy throws as hard as Felix does, and you're Cabrera and you're sitting 2 balls and no strikes, you have to gear up for the fastball. And if he decides to throw you that pitch, nothing you can do about it.
Rob Johnson, the catcher tonight for Seattle. That's line to left field, base hit. So he continues to own Felix Hernandez. It's 5 for 9 against the big right-hander now.
He can hit most number ones. That's a definition of a star player.
Here comes Aubrey Huff. The newest Tiger, added to the ball club yesterday in a trade for Brett Jacobson, a minor league pitcher. And Huff had some pop, some run production in the middle of the Tigers lineup. Well, he had a ton of RBI, 72 this year.
He gets a shot to drive in a run here in the first. That's what they got him for.
Tigers at first and second. Huff, 324 this year with runners in scoring position. Aubrey was saying before the game, I don't know what a pennant race is like. It seems like every team I bet on has never really been in the race. This is kind of a first for him. And he whistles that one on the ground foul, first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the newcomer Aubrey Huff.
He started his career with the Tampa, then called Devil Rays, and then on to Houston for a year, and then to Baltimore for the last 2. There was no DH last year that had better numbers than Aubrey Huff. As a matter of fact, he won the Silver Slugger Award for that position.
Roll to the right side. Backhanding there is Branyan. He'll hit the pitcher covering to retire the side. Tigers get a couple of hits. Strand 2. We go to the second. No score. Time since 1849. Your Motor City Dodge dealers. On demand from Comcast. Watch hit movies, TV series, music videos, and more when you're ready. And by Arby's Bacon Cheddar Roast Burger Sandwich. Try it today. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's. Back here at Comerica Park as we head to the second inning in a scoreless ball game tonight. Pitching duel between Porcello and Hernandez, and you've got the future Hall of Famer Ken Griffey Jr. standing in. He'll lead it off. In the Seattle second, followed by Gutierrez and then Jack Hanahan. Porcello needed just 7 pitches in that first inning, but he was helped out by a key double play. Lifted back out of play. 2-1 on Griffey.
He's got a good fastball today, does Porcello. That last out he got Lopez to hit a 97-mile-per-hour fastball to first base.
The 2-1 is a check swing strike. Ken Griffey Jr. enters this game tonight with a boatload of home runs, 623 of them in his career.
That's a lot of trot.
You might recall the last homer he hit against the Tigers pitcher. You got to go back to 2006, and it was the one that he hit off Joel Zumaya. It was a big home run, late a grand slam home run, as a matter of fact.
The pitch was 100 miles an hour too,
and it probably went out at 200. Swing and a miss. Porcello strikes him out.
All fastballs to Junior. And that's exactly what he gets a lot of these days. He is still a threat. He still has some bat speed. But pitchers throw him a lot more fastballs these days than they did when he was a youngster.
There's Franklin Gutierrez. He's safely in his last 3. I mentioned that Porcello gets a lot of ground balls. He is not typically a guy that will strike out too many in a game. In fact, his season high this year is 5 strikeouts in a ball game. He's done that twice. But boy, oh boy, will he get you a double play when you need it the most.
Most young pitchers, and even some veteran pitchers in the major leagues, when they pitch in stress and there's runners in scoring position, they tend to try to throw harder to get the strikeout. Porcello's the opposite of that. He will back off a little bit and get some good movement to get the ground ball, to get the double plays.
And we've talked about this before, but what would you rather have? Would you rather have a guy who can get himself out of a jam by striking somebody out, or that guy that can get 2 outs with 1 pitch? And Porcello can do that. The 2-1. Make it 2-2 now on Gutierrez. It's a pretty good ratio right there. Ground ball to fly ball. Good to see Porcello back on the mound. He was ejected, of course, from his last start after hitting Kevin Youkilis. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. So back-to-back strikeouts, just as we talked about, the fact that he's not a strikeout pitcher.
And it looks like he's coming out today establishing his fastball, but it's really the pitch that he's thrown a lot of the second half of the year. And by and large, Porcello really has gotten through the first 4 months of the year with a fastball only. There have been some starts where he's had a decent changeup or the curveball or the slider, but by and large, those secondary pitches haven't been consistent for him all season.
Yet he comes into this game with 10 victories.
Talented.
Jack Hanahan, former Tiger, at the plate now with 2 outs. 2 balls, no strikes. Hanahan batting .222. Now run it to 3-0. With Rob Johnson waiting on deck. Porcello doing some fine work in the month of August. A 2.45 ERA in 3 starts in August. The 3-1. Rifle to center field. Granderson coming on. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Nothing doing for the Mariners. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. Hernandez back to the hill facing Clee Thomas, Brandon Inge, and Alex Avila. No runs, 2 hits for Detroit. No runs, 1 hit for Seattle as Thomas swings on the first. Skies it toward left. Langerhan's coming on, and he won't get there. And that ball was deflected by the fan who stuck his glove out over the railing. And Langerhan's a little bit upset. He may have made a play on that ball. And here comes Wakamatsu to argue. I think the fan clearly stuck his glove over the railing.
That's Sam Holbrook, and I don't know exactly what Sam is saying to him, but Sam might be saying, you know what, there was some interference, but I don't think he's going to catch it anyway. But then again, he may have caught it.
Yeah, by that angle, sure. Well, he may have a beef there. If Langerhans was reaching over the railing into the crowd, there's no argument. There's nothing he can do about that. It's fair game for the fan. But if the fan reaches over the railing as he did, that could have and maybe should have been interference.
Don Wakamatsu has done a remarkable job with the Seattle Mariners club his first year as a manager. Tremendous job.
.61 and .57 in his first year.
Those 61 wins, that's as many as they had all of last year.
Well, that's quite an improvement then. And the one thing that kind of sticks out with them is if they win here tonight, they're .500 on the road this season. For as much as we talk about how the Tigers have struggled on the road and even some of the better teams, these guys have been pretty good away from Safeco Field.
They've got pitching. They've got the best pitching in the league. Earned run average under 4. The only team in the American League with a team earned run average under 4. And that translates into wins when you go away from your ballpark.
Breaking ball high and away. Well, with all that pitching that they've had and have had this season, including Jared Washburn up until the trading deadline, it had to be a tough decision for them to trade away Washburn and look toward next year and beyond. Because when you have pitching, I guess in the back of your mind, you always feel like maybe you're in it, but they probably saw the writing on the wall in the West.
Yeah, those are the numbers from a season ago. As far as the Mariners are concerned, they are definitely on the upswing.
3-2 pitch.
That's a great point because obviously Jared Washburn's a free agent after this year. And with the numbers that he was compiling, I don't know exactly what the general manager was thinking. But he's a Tiger now.
Full count pitch is inside, just off the plate. Leadoff man is on for Detroit. You know, Rod, there was a special day yesterday for the Detroit Boys and Girls Club. The Dontrelle Willis Park groundbreaking ceremony in the Tiny Tigers All-Star T-Ball Classic took place yesterday.
Hey, it looks like the kids had a lot of fun out there.
Well, Dontrelle Willis, who, by the way, is an alumnus of the Boys and Girls Club and the Tigers Foundation, with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeast Michigan, built 2 new diamonds in the Detroit area. And they tried them out yesterday.
The Tiny Tigers.
So the D-Train giving back to the city here in Detroit. Always nice to see. Brandon Inge looks at a strike 0-1.
I will say this, there is no better tool than learning your swing than the batting tee. You don't need mom, you don't need dad. Take your bucket of balls, get you a tee, get something to hit in, and take lots of swings. That's how you can develop a really good, fundamentally sound swing.
There's a high fly ball, shallow left field. The shortstop, Josh Wilson, is there. 1 gone. Well, apparently I didn't use the tee enough when I was a kid. That much is evident.
It is a wonderful teaching tool.
Well, why is it such a good teaching tool? I mean, you see the big leaguers use them all the time, and that's how they get a lot of their work in. What exactly does the tee do for you?
Well, you can work on your setup, and you can make sure you're taking the proper stride, and you can make sure your hand's in a good position. And when you take enough of those swings off of the batting tee, naturally or when you get into game action, or when you're taking batting practice, when you find that same feel again and you do it enough, that helps you develop a really good swing.
Alex Avila stands in with 1 out. Is that what they mean by muscle memory?
Exactly.
So get your tees out, kids, and practice your swings. You can even do that in the wintertime in the basement.
Yes, you can.
Just use wiffle balls. Don't use the hard balls, though. You'll mess up the sheetrock. 0-2 on Avila.
Felix Hernandez had a start earlier this year against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and the Angels run against everybody. It really doesn't matter who you are. But there were 8 attempted steals in the game while he was out there, 5 of which of the guys were successful. And after that start, Don Wakamatsu kind of pulled him aside and said, you know what? And sometimes you have to pay attention to the littler things. Yes, you're very talented. You're one of the best pitchers in the game, but you also have to think about your catcher and your teammates and giving your team a chance to win. And since they've had that conversation, his pitching numbers have gotten better, and he's holding runners much better too.
Johnson able to keep that one close enough to keep Clete Thomas from moving up.
And Clete has to know that Hernandez will uncork a wild pitcher too. Therefore, your momentum has to be going toward that next base versus getting back to first. But I can understand Clete there. Rob Johnson's already tried to pick him off once.
Runner going, and it's swung on and missed. Here comes the throw. It's high, no tag. Clete Thomas has a stolen base. It's his second of the year.
And Jim, when he gets the right combination out there, he may allow a couple of guys to run. Avila swings through the pitch, which causes Johnson to stay back just a hair longer. Therefore, Clete able to sneak in there with a slide.
Second strikeout as well for Felix Hernandez, and that'll bring up Adam Everett now. Bouncing ball third base side, just foul out of the reach of Jack Hanahan. Well, for Adam Everett, 2 for 5 in that series recently completed against Kansas City. Again, the Tigers trying to pick up a big 2-out hit. They were 0 for 16 with men in scoring position in the Sunday game against KC. And Hernandez delivers strike 2.
And in some of those situations, they didn't even need a hit, a ground ball or a simple fly ball in the outfield. It would have given them a run or 2.
And it certainly would have been a difference in a 1-run game.
Armando was sensational that day.
I asked Armando before the game today, how did you feel? I mean, you looked terrible physically when you went out in the first inning.
Tell me how you really feel.
I was honest with him, and he said, I felt like after I got through that first inning, I just felt more comfortable. But he said, boy, that first inning was just a bear to get through.
It looked like it.
Slice to center field, sinking, and that ball will drop. Base hit. Here comes Thomas rounding third. They're going to send him home, and he scores. Adam Everett with a clutch 2-out single.
Pretty good secondary lead by Clete Thomas, and you know it with Gutierrez in center and Ichiro in right field. You've got to be off at the crack of the bat with 2 outs. He was that, therefore able to score rather easily against a center fielder that has a really good arm.
The Tigers were 0 for their previous 18 with runners in scoring position before that RBI hit. Talk about coming in handy. There goes the runner. The throw is high again into center field. But Everett picked it up too late to advance. And Gutierrez got there quickly anyway.
That is the second throw now that we've seen Johnson have to rush because the Tigers base runners have gotten real good jumps. And when you rush as a catcher, you prematurely open up that left shoulder, which causes the arm to lag and drop, and therefore you get the throws to the second base side of the bag with that tailing action on them. It's like the Tigers are going to do their best impression of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim here tonight.
Well, you talked about how when you face pitchers like Hernandez, sometimes you have to create things, and you do some things that maybe you don't do against other pitchers. Boy, Johnson having a tough time of it. The throw to third. Oh, they got him. Johnson recovers and Everett is out, trying to advance on a ball that got away. Tigers settle for 1 run, leave them empty, and we played 2. So far is his greatest, do you think? Is it A, crashing into the wall on Sunday here, B, robbing Grady Sizemore back in Cleveland, or C, robbing William Opeña a couple of years ago? You can text A, B, or C to 37338. Here are those catches just to kind of jog your memory. That was the one against William Opeña. This is the one against Grady Sizemore. And then on Sunday, kaboom, up against the wall. What do you think, Brian?
I'm going to go Sizemore catch.
I would have gone William Opeña, but that Sizemore catch just stays in my mind. Maybe it's because it saved a game.
It did save a game. That would have been a walk-off home run for Grady.
Johnson is leading it off here in the 3rd for Seattle. All 3 of them, though, were really good. Is he going to go glove this year?
He's going to get some serious consideration. I don't know if he'll get it or not, but he's going to get some serious consideration.
Chopper hit to second base for Polanco.
There's really only one spot available because Ichiro's going to get one and Torrey Hunter's going to get one. So really that leaves all the other outfielders to fight for the final spot in the outfield for a Gold Glove.
Well, that's true. I guess maybe the only monkey wrench in that whole thing is that maybe because Hunter has been hurt for a while and has been on the disabled list, maybe that hurts him. I don't know.
Yeah, he just came back a couple of days ago after spending 30 days on the disabled list with a growing problem. But I think his reputation precedes him.
Langer hands the batter. Another bouncing ball to the right side. Cabrera has this one. And there are 2 outs. Well, this game is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Comcast. Here comes the well-traveled Josh Wilson, batting .250 in a Seattle uniform. Meanwhile, Porcello has been working very efficiently in this game. And a first pitch strike right down the middle to Wilson.
He's done a lot of that. Here it is, hit it.
Breaking ball dips outside of the strike zone. 1-1.
It's a pretty good slider right there. And Porcello no longer throwing a curveball. He is fastball slider change. And whereas all season he's kind of gone in between the curveball and the slider, but they finally have come to the realization that the curveball is just not the pitch for him. So he's a slider guy tonight anyway.
1-2. Porcello got a double play ball in the first. He has also struck out 2 batters. And now 2-2 on Wilson. First of 3 between these two teams, Tigers and Seattle. Then another road trip on the horizon for Detroit. He went chasing there, and another strikeout for Porcello. That is his 3rd of the game. It's another 1-2-3 inning for the Tigers right-hander. 2.5 in the books. Tigers up by a run.
Back to you.
All right, Mickey, thank you very much. As we head to the bottom of the 3rd, it's 1-0 in favor of Detroit. They got an RBI single from Adam Everett with 2 outs in the 2nd. And it's Curtis Granderson, followed by Placido Polanco and then Carlos Guillen. Randy struck out back in the 1st inning. 258 this season in the average column. Felix Hernandez missing outside. 2-0. Hernandez, it wasn't too long ago that we were watching this young man as a 19-year-old making his major league debut right here in this ballpark back in 2005, in August of 05. And at that time was a hotshot prospect. And he has certainly fulfilled his promise. What a year he has had. And certainly, Rod, I think one of the guys you have to think about when you're talking about Cy Young.
Oh, without question. His numbers speak for themselves. Just about every category, he has been dominant.
Fouled away. 2-2.
I've said on many occasions, this year is the best starting pitching in the American League I've seen in my 7 years of broadcasting games here in Detroit. They've got some guys that can just overpower you.
Well, Hernandez has also been very good on the road. In fact, he has the lowest ERA in the American League, 1.96 away from Safeco Field, which is considered a pitcher's ballpark. He's getting it done everywhere. And he got Granderson looking. Second time he has fanned him in this game.
And second time he's gotten Grandy with that breaking ball as well. Hey fans, the race for the pennant is on, so don't miss a minute of the action. Get your 15-game race for the pennant ticket package today and receive priority to select postseason games. Call 313-471-BALL or visit Tigers.com.
Polanco spins out of the way of a fastball up and in. Placido had a single to right field his first time up. Talking about Hernandez's road numbers, he is 8-1 in 13 road starts this year. Very, very impressive. In fact, he's on pace to set the Mariners' single season road ERA record.
They don't just give you that kind of nickname unless you're pretty good.
The King?
Yeah. There's only a couple of kings that I know.
There can't be too many better than you if you're going to be the king.
One's Elvis and LeBron, and now you got Hernandez. They just don't throw that name out there.
Now, how would you rank those kings that you just said?
Well, yeah, you got to go Elvis number 1.
Number 1?
Yeah.
LeBron number 2?
Well, I don't know.
Toss-up.
It's a toss-up, but neither's won a championship yet. They're both talented for sure.
2-2 on Polanco. The 2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball left side deep in the hole to a knee is Wilson. Quickly throws to first in a terrific play.
That's Josh Wilson, not Jack Wilson. And Jack Wilson is their everyday shortstop, and we'll probably see him before the series is over. But look how quick he gets to his feet. He goes down and he gets up and he fires a clothesline back across the diamond. That's nice.
He got Polanco by a couple of steps.
Did you see how quick he got up?
And got rid of it quickly as well. Nice play. So here's Guillen with 2 outs. Carlos takes ball 1.
Hernandez has that overpowering fastball, but most of his fastballs are at the knees. Once he learns how to elevate that fastball on occasion at 95, his game is going to go to a whole nother level.
High fly ball, left center field, hit well. Going to stay in the park though for Langerhans. And the Tigers go 1-2-3. We are headed to the 4th here at Comerica. 1-0 Detroit. Promise. And by AT&T, your world delivered. Round and round we go here at the ballpark. The Tigers leading it to score of 1-0. Just in case the foul ball comes back into the seats.
Wow. Yeah. That's a first.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
That is a first. Those foul balls do get in the seats in a hurry.
Full mask, full chest protector. Had the glove. Very nice. Ichiro had an infield single his first time up, and he looks at a strike.
He gets a lot of infield singles. Therefore, you have the middle infielders that are playing a couple of steps in front of the grass. And if you do get the ball in your glove, you've got to get rid of it in a hurry because Ichiro has blazing speed.
There's our buddy on the lower right. Hey, better. Swing. He's got the helmet on, too.
Ready.
That is sweet. 2-2.
Well, they say you do enough of these games, you'll see something you've never ever seen before.
Isn't that the truth? But I think mostly they mean on the field, not off. Fouled straight back.
We got him in a double box.
I know. When is the last time we had a fan in a 2-box?
It's beautiful.
That is usually reserved for a guy that's trying to steal a base. Ichiro hammers it back out of play. Suzuki now with a 9-game hitting streak. Back in May, he had a 27-game streak. This guy just continues to march to another 200-hit season. He's had 8 straight. Quite a player. Great defender as well. He will waste pitch after pitch after pitch. It may not be the prettiest, but it's effective.
He's got some movement with the lower half, but the head stays still. And when the head stays still and you've got this kind of hand-eye coordination, you can spoil good pitches until you get something that you like a little bit better. And all he has done is compile, as you said, 200 hits a year for 8 straight seasons. And he's going to do it again this year. It'll be a record 9th.
Well, he needs only 25 to get there. That'll be a breeze. 2-2. This is the 10th pitch in this at bat. And he finally got him. Porcello with an off-speed pitch. Ichiro is out of there. 4 strikeouts now for Porcello. The Duck is here. Who are the only 2 players with more 200 hit seasons than Ichiro? There have been 2 players in the history of the game that have had more. Can you name them? If you can't, we'll give you the answer in the bottom of the 4th. If you can, good for you. Here's Russell Branyan. He knocked into a double play back in the 1st. Gotta love the way Porcello has looked tonight. He has the look tonight, Rod, like he was looking in that 1st inning in Boston, and you wonder what kind of game he would have pitched had he not been tossed out of that game.
Yes, he does. And it looked like he was on his way of putting up some zeros, which is tough to do in Boston. Pitching in front of family and friends, he was fired up. He wasn't happy about getting kicked out of the game, I'll tell you that much.
No, he was not. Handled himself nicely, though, once Euclid got to the mound. The 0-2 pitch. Awkward looking swing by Branyan. He stays alive.
Brandon's had a nice year. 27 home runs, 69 RBIs. Getting more opportunities to play this year in Seattle than he really has gotten at any point in his big league career.
He has struggled since the All-Star break, though. He has slowed down a bit, 192, but overall his numbers as good as he has had in his career. And he's got some power. We have seen that firsthand.
Didn't he hit that big home run when they were here off of Bobby C late in the game?
He sure did.
To get Hernandez a win.
Late home run.
Yeah, he's got that classic uppercut swing. He's got plenty of power. He's got true power. He's one of the strongest men in the game.
It was a 2-run shot that turned a 1-0 Tigers lead in the 8th to a 2-1 deficit. Strike called. Got him looking. Well, we said that Porcello is not a strikeout pitcher, but he has 5 now, which equals his season high.
Lots of firm fastballs, anywhere from 91 to 97 miles an hour. You see the late life there on that last pitch. And the location, tremendous. Right at the knees. How good is this guy going to be?
Really good, I guess. He's 20 years old. And bouncing ball to second. Gobbled up there by Polanco. He's not striking him out. He's getting him to roll out. Another 1-2-3 inning. 3 straight for Porcello. Boring inning for that guy. Great night for ball here at the ballpark. We go to the bottom of the fourth, and so far in this pitching duel, the Tigers lead 1-0. Porcello has given up only one hit, and that was to Ichiro to lead off the game. Nothing since. Cabrera leads it off for the Tigers in the fourth inning, and Miguel looks at a breaking ball strike. Cabrera, then Huff, and then Cleat Thomas in the Tiger fourth. Base hit back in the first inning for Miguel. Here's the 0-1. One ball and one strike. That'll miss again. 2-1 the count. Hernandez last year won just 9 games despite having great stuff. He had very low run support. Only about 3.5 runs per game. Bouncer right back up the middle. Cabrera now 2 for 2. Leadoff man on. Well, there's Ichiro. That Aflac trivia question again tonight. Who are the only 2 players with more 200+ hit seasons than Ichiro? And
Peter Edward Rose.
Yeah, there's one. There's the other. He's immortalized here at the ballpark. Tyrus Raymond Cobb. Ichiro, I don't know what his middle name is, Suzuki with 8. There's a ball down low to Aubrey Huff. Tigers continue to do a great job of getting the leadoff man on. They've done so in 14 of the last 20 innings. It seemed like they were doing it every single inning in that Kansas City series. Bouncing ball back up the middle. This might be 2. Lopez, and the relay is in time. The double play.
Well, partner, while we have a moment here, I want to wish a happy 82nd birthday to Maxine Larson of Ludington, Michigan. And she's had some recent personal tragedies, but from what they tell us, man, she is a tremendous Tigers fan, and she loves Tigers baseball, and she watches us every single night, and today is her day.
All right, Maxine, well, thank you for watching and tuning in tonight. We appreciate that.
82 years young is Maxine.
She loves her Tigers, huh?
She loves her Tigers, and I think she likes us as well.
In that order, probably.
You got that right.
Big swing by Cleat Thomas, 1-1. Thomas had a walk, stole the base, and scored a run back in the second.
Yeah, Lloyd McClendon was telling me before the game today that he's doing a few different things with Cleat. We didn't get a chance to get into it too much, but obviously Cleat has struggled a little bit here lately swinging the stick. And they're just trying to get him to understand that he's a good player. And he's a good player, and he's a young player. Most people forget sometimes that Cleat's a rookie up here playing in a pennant race and playing right field, batting third on some nights. It's not an easy thing to do.
Really, on most nights, up until the acquisition of Aubrey Huff. And that is slapped down the left field line. It's going to go foul. And he's had some really impressive at-bats. He's hit some walk-off home runs. He's had some key walks along the way.
He has done a lot of positive things. He's played really good defensively. He has quite a few assists. Just a good baseball player. But every now and then, even the young players struggle.
Just foul, third base side. By the way, I finally asked Cleat why he wears just one batting glove. And he said a couple of days ago that his bottom hand has a tendency to slip off the bat. And he said if I had my druthers, I would wear none. He goes, I don't like batting gloves at all, but that bottom hand would consistently slide off the bat, so I wear just the bottom one. And down he goes on strikes to end the inning. 4th strikeouts for Felix Hernandez. End of 4. 1-0 Detroit. Rod, so far so good for Rick Porcello. I have been extremely impressed with the way he has gone about his business tonight. Maybe one of the best games he's pitched all year.
You know, he's gotten his second win since the second half has started. There were some that thought the velocity of the fastball was going down, but actually the last few times he's gone out there, he's been about 97 miles an hour.
He has, and he's back to work now here in the fifth inning, trying to protect a very slim margin, 1-0. And he has Ken Griffey Jr. to deal with. He'll start things off for Seattle.
He's not pitching at 97 miles an hour, but he has touched 97, which is impressive.
Chopper back to the mound. Porcello will gobble this one up. One gone, 12 in a row retired by Rick, and he of course is part of a very young battery, and here's some of the youngest batteries we have seen this season.
Guys are getting to the big leagues a lot sooner these days. Lots of guys that were drafted last year are already in the big league, so this is impressive. Felix just 22, of course Porcello just 20.
And they are working their magic here tonight. Gutierrez showing bunt, backs out of there, 1-0. Franklin, one of the 5 strikeouts that Porcello has recorded tonight.
The Mariners got themselves a really good player when they were able to get Gutierrez from the Cleveland Indians. They've got a center fielder for the next 5 to 7 years that possibly could win a Gold Glove someday. He's that good in center.
I know you and I both liked him when he was in Cleveland.
The only thing that we ever wondered about was whether the bat would come or not, and whether he would be able to hit at this level, because if you can hit, you can play every day, but if you can't hit, then you're simply a 4th or 5th outfielder. He's gotten some chances to prove under Wakamatsu this year that he's an everyday player.
And the numbers have been pretty good. 293 coming in with 51 RBIs. He's hit some home runs, a total of 14. Here in the ballpark, he had a scary moment here in July.
Well, look at all the range. He's got tremendous range. Look how far he runs for this ball. He lost this battle, though.
Yeah, the wall won that battle, and down he went. And it took them a while to get Gutierrez off the field. He's looking much better these days. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. So that's a season-high 6 strikeouts for Porcello.
I see you, Rick. Dude, that's a slide piece. No, actually, changeup.
Yeah.
Changeup, down and away, well located away from the right-hander. And that's our Lincoln Mercury Exmo replay. That's a good location for that pitch.
13 straight Mariners have gone down. Here is Jack Hanahan. Hanahan scalded one to center field his first time up on a line straight at Curtis Granderson. The 0-1. Porcello with a victory tonight could join Dave Rozema as 2 Tigers pitchers 20 or younger to win as many as 11 games in a season. Rick came in with 10 victories. Rozema won 11 games for the Tigers back in 1977 before he celebrated his 21st birthday in August of that year.
Take one more look at the grip of the changeup by Porcello that struck out Gutierrez. And the key here is the location. Sometimes right-handers throw changeups and they end up on the inner third of the plate, but this one located beautifully down and away to the glove of Avila to get strikeout number 6.
Hanahan not too crazy about that call. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
It looked like he may have had a beef. Looked like it may have been low, but Porcello has been pounding that strike zone all night long, and you're going to get the benefit of the doubt when you're throwing as many strikes as he's throwing. Strike to ball ratio very good tonight for Porcello. Hanahan started the year in Oakland in the big leagues. He was sent down to the minor leagues because he was struggling. But when the Mariners needed a third baseman because Beltre went on the disabled list, it was Hanahan that they went to get.
Inge has it go under the glove. Oh.
Now I can honestly say, for the first time, and I'm being honest, the knees affected that play for Brandon. Everybody knows that Brandon is playing somewhat injured, but when have you ever seen Brandon not bend down and not feel the ball? And you just bending at the waist and not bending the knees here. He would not agree with me, but that's exactly what I saw there.
E5, the first Tigers error of this game, and that stops the string of 13 straight that Porcello had retired. He got yet another ground ball, but that one skitters under the glove.
He gets the glove down as well as most infielders all the time.
Johnson looks at a ball outside, and the count goes 2-0 on the Seattle catcher who bounced out back in the third. Johnson out of the University of Houston. .230 hitter. Tying run is on. That's Hanahan. 2-1.
Just to finish that thought on Hanahan real quick at first base, I talked about the fact that he was in the minor leagues with Oakland and really wasn't playing all that well in AAA, but the manager Don Wakamatsu knew him. Ty Van Berkeley, the bench coach, also knew of Hanahan, and they gave him another opportunity to come to the big leagues.
Wave and a miss. Hanahan last year filled in for Eric Chavez. Made over 100 starts for Chavez.
That's where Wakamatsu and Van Berkeley became familiar with Hanahan. Wakamatsu was the bench coach last year in Oakland, and Ty Van Berkeley was the hitting coach.
Tipped into the glove, strike three. How about that? Another strikeout for Porcello, his 7th of the game. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. And by BP, help your car run younger for longer. Try BP gasoline with Invigorates. Back here at the ballpark as the Tigers in the end square off in game one in this 3-game set. So far, the Tigers behind Rick Porcello leading this one by a score of 1-0.
Well, he has very little margin for error. That much is for sure, with Felix Hernandez towing the rubber for the Seattle Mariners. And both young pitchers on top of their games tonight.
Porcello with 7 strikeouts, a ton of ground balls. In command this evening as Inge leads it off. Brandon fly to left field back in the second, 0 for 1. Avila and then Everett to follow. 7, 8, 9 in Jim Leland's lineup. King Felix for the 0-1. Breaking ball and a beauty, 0-2.
He has been able to command that pitch very well here tonight. Throwing lots of strikes with this bender. Comes out of his hand nice.
Off the end of the bat, back toward the mound. And one gone. Well, the Tigers got the game's only run back in the second inning. A little bit of help from one of the fans out there in left. May have been interference there. Langerhans couldn't get to that ball. Cleat ends up walking. The swipe puts him at second base, and then look who comes through.
2 out now.
Adam Everett, an RBI single scoring Cleat Thomas, and there is your only run of the game. Avila cuts and misses. Alex fanned back in the second, 0 for 1.
It is one thing to throw 94, 95 miles an hour. It's a whole nother ball game when you've got the kind of late life on your fastball that Hernandez has. Whoa. The boy's nice now.
0-2.
He's good.
2-0 against the Tigers this year. Everything mid-90s, but everything is just jumping all over the place. One-two. Swing and a miss, and he takes care of Avila twice in this game. That is his 5th strikeout. Well, the NFL is back with Fox 2 preseason specials. Thursday, the Eagles take on Peyton Manning and the Colts. And then on Friday, the Titans battle Tony Romo and the Dallas Cowboys. Both games start at 8 p.m. in high definition on your local Fox station.
Well, you may have to rethink your first pick in the fantasy draft this year. Brett Favre's back.
Oh, believe you me. He won't be going in the first round.
No.
Oh, it's amazing. He is actually back. Can you believe it? It's a stunner.
Yeah, I can.
I can't. I really can't. I thought for sure this was it. But he's back. Never try to walk that one off.
That little breaking ball right off the top of the foot.
Ooh. Little to no padding on that instep at all. And Everett now trying to work his way back in the box. His RBI single in the second. Produced his 33rd RBI of the year. 1-2.
How in the world did Johnson block that ball? He's probably wondering the same thing. I mean, this thing bounced 6-7 feet in front of home plate. He smothered that bad boy, though.
And that's one of those pitches that he easily could have taken off of his bicep or his forearm where there's no protection. There's another one that's going to rattle through him.
This kid's hard to catch. And we talk about the fact that he's got 14 wild pitches. And I'm sure the majority of those wild pitches have come on that really good breaking ball that he has. But even when he throws a fastball at that velocity, for Johnson to get a glove on that ball is remarkable.
Swing and a miss. Everett is out of there. 6 strikeouts now for Felix Hernandez. A 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 6th. 1-0 Detroit.
hit, but he has been simply dominant, getting 7 strikeouts. And when he's not striking them out, he's getting ground balls. He's really been on top of his game here tonight against the Seattle Mariners. He has pitched, for me, the last couple of games, his best baseball after the All-Star break. He appears to be getting stronger when most thought he was slowing down.
Well, he's got Ryan Langerhans here in the 6th.
Look at the distribution of outs. 7 strikeouts, 7 ground outs, 1 fly out.
Langerhans followed by Wilson and then Ichiro. Off speed out in front, 1-2.
He has started to incorporate that changeup the last couple of innings, and it's a good one. He established the fastball early, and he's gone to a few secondary pitches here the last couple of innings.
Got in on his hands that time with a breaking ball, 1-2.
And we talked about the changeup on occasion. It doesn't have to be a strike. It's really just a show-me pitch. To show that hitter that you've got something else other than the fastball and you're not afraid to throw it. Here comes another one.
Just missed it. Did he go? Yes, he went around in the swing. Sam Holbrook says you're out of there. 8 strikeouts for Porcello.
This changeup's got some nice fading action tonight. It's a good call right there as well by Holbrook.
Yep, looked like it went.
Yep. The wrist broke.
So the 8 strikeouts, a career high, and he just continues to add to that. With each strikeout he gets tonight, here is Josh Wilson. Lifts this one in the air toward left, hooking. Back out of play.
Carlos Guillen getting his first start in the outfield today, and he just made that young lady very, very happy.
Been a while since he'd been out there. First time since coming back off the disabled list. He had played a couple of games at first. The 0-1. Ground ball foul. Oh, 0-2 on Josh Wilson, who struck out back in the 3rd. He was called up when Beltre was put on the disabled list. And the 0-2 pitch. Lifted in the air, hit well toward left field. Backing up is Guillen to the wall, and we are tied. The number 9 hitter, Josh Wilson, homers on a breaking ball that just kind of fluttered up there, and it's a 1-1 game.
This is not a good 0-2 pitch. And Porcello probably knew it as soon as he let it go. No balls and 2 strikes, and he throws him a changeup. The only pitch that Wilson could probably hit. He sped his bat up, and he hit it out of here. Oh, my goodness.
That is only the 2nd hit that Porcello has given up. The other was to Ichiro to start the game, and the number 9 hitter takes him deep for his 2nd home run of the season. 1-1 game.
4th career home run for Wilson.
Ichiro with a base hit and a shattered bat base hit. It's his 2nd hit of the game. Third hit overall now for Seattle.
Well, this is where Porcello does his best work when there's a runner on first. He's usually able to get that ground ball to get the double play to get out of the inning. He's already gotten Branyan to hit into one. And with that being said, you also have to pay special attention to Ichiro over at first. He is a true base stealer.
Ichiro now with his major league high 59th multiple hit game this year.
Avila has had 1 chance to throw and has been successful. At least that's the only one I remember in Boston.
Well, the rookie battery talking it over on the hill. Branyan is hit into a double play and has struck out in this game. As we check out the pitch count, it's at 80, but boy, the strikes to ball ratio very good tonight for Porcello.
Actually, there have been 3 attempts while Avila has been behind the dish, and he's caught one.
Time called as Porcello was about to bring it home.
It's a nice job there by Brandon. If you call timeout, do not leave the box prematurely until the home plate umpire gives you time.
Fouled back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Action of the Tigers bullpen. Perry and Nee, the righty-lefty combination, warming up. Line drive over the head of the second baseman Polanco into right field. Ichiro will go to second. So 3 straight hits after the leadoff strikeout of Langerhans. That's going to bring up Lopez. Well, the good thing here is that Lopez leads the American League in double play balls, 19.
That's a good thing.
And we've got time called now. Rick Knapp is coming out.
Rick is going to go out for a couple of reasons here. 1, to slow Porcello down, and 2, he wants to make sure that he keeps Ichiro close at second base and does not allow him to steal third base. Hey fans, tomorrow when the Tigers face the Mariners at 7:05, the first 10,000 fans receive a Tiger coffee mug. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or log on to tigers.com.
It's a sweet looking mug.
Always a Tiger. You can see myself drinking a cup of Joe out of that bad boy in the morning.
So here's Lopez. And there's the strike.
Lopez has hit a ground out to second base the last time he was up, and they know where to play him, but with Ichiro on second, Polanco has to play out of position. And he might find that hole where he hits a lot of ground balls. It's about 5 feet to the left of where Polanco's playing right now. Speed causes you to play out of position.
Avila picks it up out of the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ichiro has attempted to steal third base 11 times this year and has been successful on 9 of those attempts.
Driven in the air toward left field. Carlos moving over. And the runners will hold. So Lopez retired. 2 gone. One more big out to get, and that would be Ken Griffey Jr.
He has thrown Junior all fastballs today. And about now, you know, Junior's looking for one.
Got him a couple of times. Ground out, strikeout. Griffey has homered against 401 different pitchers in his career. He has taken 401 guys deep. A total of 623. So as you might expect, there are many duplicates. What a career he has had coming back to Seattle, where it all started for the kid, Ken Griffey Jr.
There was about a 5, 6, 7 year stretch there where Ken Griffey Jr. was the poster child of all of baseball. And you saw his number 24 jersey everywhere. Young kids wearing their hat backwards. Now they just tilt them to the side.
It's a new look every year.
Yeah.
One ball, one strike on Griffey. 2-1. Griff this year has hit just .223. 39 RBIs. And high and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. Of course, the Tigers made a deal to get Jared Washburn here in Detroit. One of the pitchers they gave up was Luke French, and Luke said once he got to Seattle that his favorite player growing up was Ken Griffey Jr. And they wanted to get an autograph of the kid. There's a strike call, 3-2. And now they are teammates.
That fastball froze Griffey. 3-1, you're looking for a fastball, but look at the life on this pitch. That ball had some nice tailing action to
it. Runners retreat. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Griffey.
2 outs. I mean, runners in scoring position. And Junior just at 114.
Porcello has labored in this inning more than any other inning. He has surrendered the lead, although they've only tied it up. The home run by Josh Wilson made it a 1-1 game, and now Seattle trying to go ahead. 3-2 on Griffey with the runners moving again. And Porcello will step off. Each side a run on 4 hits. And the 3-2. Popped it up foul. This will get back out of play. Ken Griffey hit his first home run on April 10th of 1989. It was against the Chicago White Sox off Eric King. That was the first what would be many, many home runs in the illustrious career of Ken Griffey Jr. Again, the 3-2 pitch. He lost him. It gets away from Avila, but not far enough. Griffey will get the walk. That's going to load the bases. First walk issued by Porcello. Fresh count now with the Franklin Gutierrez coming up, and Porcello is not going to face him. Here comes Jim Leland. So Rick, who is in the 90 range and pitch is thrown, will give way to Ryan Perry. We've got a wall side windows pitching change in this one. Perry comes on, Porcello departs, and we'll be back. A career high 8 strikeouts. course, he is a big part of the future in terms of their arms, but the Tigers reloaded with the 09 draft round, a couple of big signees, and of course the name that we know, Daniel Fields, but they got their first and their second rounders signed.
It took a long time for it to happen. As a matter of fact, it went right down to the wire, but in Jacob Turner and Andrew Oliver, they have restocked their farm system once again with a couple of really potent arms, and congratulations to all three. And of course, we do know Daniel. He has come up to the booth, and of course, his dad is Bruce and has been in baseball for as long as I've been in baseball, which is some 30 years.
Ryan Perry is the new pitcher now with the bases loaded, facing Franklin Gutierrez. First pitch strike, 0-1. Of course, Daniel Fields had the option of going to Michigan. He had a scholarship with the Wolverines, but at the last second chose to sign with the Tigers. So congratulations to Bruce and Daniel and the entire Fields family.
He could not go wrong.
Nope, absolutely not.
Best of both worlds.
Gutierrez was fanned twice by Porcello. The 0-1 in the air to center field. Curtis Granderson is there, and Seattle leaves him loaded. But they get a run to tie it up. 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the sixth.
Freeze cam. We're going to take you all the way back to the second inning. A little help here from a fan who interferes with Ryan Langerhans trying to catch a foul ball. Cleat walked and came around to score on a 2-out base hit. That was the Tigers' run. And then you get an 0-2 changeup from Porcello right down the middle, and it ran right into the happy zone of Josh Wilson, and it took him deep. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light.
And Porcello and Washburn sharing a laugh right now. Terrific effort tonight for Rick, but it's a 1-1 game. Tigers batting in the bottom of the sixth inning against Felix Hernandez, and Curtis Granderson leads it off. Polanco and Guillen to follow. Each team a run on 4 hits. Curtis has fanned twice. 1 ball and 1 strike.
That looked like a changeup there from Hernandez. He has not thrown many of those tonight. It's been pretty much fastball, curveball. That thing is wicked.
And Curtis is a guy that came in batting over 400 against Felix Hernandez with a home run.
Hernandez giving him fits today with that breaking ball up.
Let it go foul. Anderson was 9 for 22 coming in against Felix Hernandez with a long ball, but so far tonight, not a whole lot of luck. The 1-2 was swung on and missed. He tried to hold it up, couldn't do it. He has fanned 3 times in this game, and Felix now starting to rack him up. That's his 7th strikeout. Oh, what do you know? Brought to you by Radio Shack. On this date in 1984, the Tigers beat Seattle 4-3. Kirk Gibson became the first Tiger with 20 homers and 20 stolen bases in the same season. Part of that magical 84 season here in Detroit, led by Sparky.
Bless you, boys. How good was Sparky, though? He took over the team in '79, and he told everybody it would take 5 years and the Tigers would win a world championship. And guess which year they won the championship?
Year number 5. Amazing.
Yeah.
Misses high and inside. 2-0 on Polanco. He was good.
He and Bill LaJoy. Bill LaJoy was good, too. A lot of people don't talk about Bill LaJoy and his years as a general manager in Detroit. But he was tremendous.
Vila and Porcello apparently talking about pitches to certain hitters.
Well, they were flawless today. The only pitch they could be talking about is that 0-2 pitch. Other than that, he was tremendous.
Here's the 2-0 to Polanco. He is showing bunt. 2-1. Single to ground out for Placido. Two. Well, you played for Sparky in that '84 season. What in your mind was his major strength as a manager?
Communication.
A lot of guys seem to like to play for him.
He could communicate with him. He was a tremendous manager, obviously. I mean, he knew the X and the O's of what was going on in the field and always seemed to be one step ahead of the other manager.
Roll toward third, right at Hanahan. Easy hop.
But he was a tremendous communicator. And sometimes that's what players enjoy. They like the communication, the structure as well. Well prepared. He had a good staff, though. Gates Brown was on that staff. Roger Craig was on that staff. Alex Grannis.
Forgot the Gator was on that staff.
Yeah. Billy Consolo, his best friend.
Dick Trzeski.
Yep.
Strike one to Carlos Guillen.
And you know what? He had talent.
That helps.
He had a lot of talent on that team.
Most managers will tell you that certainly is the key. Line right to the second baseman, Lopez. And the Tigers go 1-2-3. We're on our way to the 7th inning tonight. Not a whole lot of offense. 1-1. Was which one of Curtis Granderson's catches was the best, the greatest? Text A, B, C, or D to the wall crash on Sunday. The Sizemore catch and the Willie Mo Pena catch a couple of years ago. The leader right now by a wide margin is the catch against Grady Sizemore, which we both agree up here in the booth is probably his best.
Yes, indeed.
Final results after the game on Tigers Live, so stay tuned for that. Ryan Perry back to work now as we head to the 7th inning. It'll be Hanahan, Johnson, and Langerhans.
Granderson has that mentality right now that anything hit in the center field he is going to catch. He is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, and when you're having a night like that offensively, you're not going to let anybody else get any hits.
The 0-1. Ooh, on the outside corner, Hanahan walks out of the box, 0-2. Perry came on in the 6th inning with the bases loaded, and he got Gutierrez to fly out, keeping it tied at 1.
Earlier in the year, I don't think Jim would have put Perry in a situation like that with the bases loaded, with the control issues he was having at the beginning of the year. But he went back down to the minor leagues, and it wasn't for that long. But he came back with tremendous confidence and throwing much more strikes since coming back from Toledo.
Hanahan is 0 for 2. He spent quite a bit of time in the Tigers organization. In fact, 6.5 years in the Tigers organization. Bobby C tuning up right now. Boy, has he been good this year. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Tigers pitching tonight has racked up 9 strikeouts. Feel free to join us again tomorrow. Middle game in this series against the Mariners. Coverage begins with Tigers Live starting at 6:30. Justin Verlander will be on the mound. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire tomorrow evening on Fox Sports Detroit and Fox Sports Detroit HD.
And Jack Zarincic, their general manager, very high on Ian Schnell. And they got him from the Pirates along with Jack Wilson. And they feel like he's going to turn the corner for them sooner or later. And really, we all know how good Verlander has been and how good Verlander is.
Verlander's already turned the corner. He's on the straightaway right now.
Isn't he, though?
And he's just looking back and laughing at the opponents. He's had a great year. Rob Johnson, 0 for 2. Ground ball and a strikeout. Tried to hold up, couldn't do it.
Two young kids, Porcello, Perry. They're roommates and best of friends.
And both supremely talented.
That's one thing the Tigers have done under David Chadd, their general manager. They have drafted a lot of really good power arms, and they really haven't missed on any of the guys.
Did not go that time. Larry Vanover said he held up.
I call David Chadd the general manager, but he's the scouting director.
Fouled away. Well, with scouting being such an inexact science, you really have to take advantage of your first round picks, I think. And there was a stretch where the Tigers had some first rounders that either didn't get to the big leagues or didn't really provide a whole lot when they got here. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts for Perry, 10 for Tigers pitching tonight.
Perry's got that real nice slide piece going today. And when you locate the pitch in that location to go along with the 96-mile-per-hour fastball, you're going to get some swings and some misses. It's really amazing the kind of confidence he's pitching with lately.
There's Langerhans.
Wow.
.213 average for the former Atlanta Brave. Perry's got him eaten out of his hands tonight. He's faced 3 batters. He has struck out 2 of them. He is 0-2 now on Langerhans. His first home run as a Seattle Mariner was hit off Rick Porcello last time he faced him. 1-2.
You saw the youngster Avila emphatically ask for the fastball on the 0-2 pitch, and he wanted it firm. Now they're going to go back to that slider.
Two and two. Now fill it at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see, in Chicago, bottom of the 2nd, White Sox lead the Royals 1-0. Let Freddie Garcia getting a start for the White Sox.
He was pitching well for them in the minor leagues. They want to see what he's got.
Phil Mesh going for KC. And he got it, strike 3. Ryan Perry strikes out the side. 11 strikeouts for Tigers pitching in this one. He got Hanahan. He got Johnson. And he takes care of Langerhans. That has been all about the pitching, really, Rod, for both sides.
Well, when you have these kinds of guys that take the rubber for you and have this kind of talent, you're going to get lots of swings and misses, and that's exactly what Porcello did in the 5 2/3 innings that he pitched. And King Felix, he's in the Cy Young conversation right now. I mean, he's a legitimate Cy Young candidate.
Here's our Comerica game summary. Porcello goes 5 2/3, giving up 4 hits. The home run, the only run he gave up. Everett had an RBI single. Wilson, the solo homer in the Tigers bullpen. 0 earned runs in their last 14 2/3 innings. They've been great. Miguel Cabrera leads it off here in the 7th inning. It'll be Cabrera, then Aubrey Huff, and Cleet Thomas. And for Cabrera tonight, another pretty good night. A couple of singles. He hasn't scored. And the average up to .333.
Ooh. Goodness gracious. 2-0. You know Cabby looking for a fastball. And all you can do is tip your hat when a guy throws you that type of pitch in that situation.
Roll toward third, behind the bag, knocked down by Hanahan. He's got a lot of time, and he throws him out.
Well, we were talking about Cy Young, and we have for a couple of days. I don't know, Mario. I mean, there's 5 guys. You look at their records, their earned run averages are all very good. And they all seem to lead the league in different categories.
Well, if this continues the rest of the season, it's going to be difficult to pick from these 5 guys because, as you mentioned, they all have something they do very well.
There's also a guy left off the list that probably should be on it, but I don't think we had enough room for him, and that's CeCe Sabathia. He is also having a tremendous year for the New York Yankees, and he already has won 1 Cy Young.
Aubrey Huff trying to get his first Tigers hit.
Just a very talented group of power pitchers. And the Tigers seem to be playing all of these guys in the last week or so. It's been Beckett, it's been Greinke, now it's Hernandez.
Well, if you get to the playoffs in the American League, I think you're going to have to earn it. And that's not to say that there aren't good pitchers in the National League. And there's your first Tigers hit for Aubrey Huff. And he's on with 1 out. Go ahead runner aboard. But it seems the pitching in the American League is just a shade above, I think.
It's ridiculous.
Activity in their bullpen. Sean White. He's going to bring up Clete Thomas, who has a walk and a strikeout in this game. Clete, in fact, scored the Tigers' run after stealing a base back in the 2nd. 5 Tigers hits now, 4 for Seattle. Clete fouls one back out of play. Thomas with 7 home runs this year. Good breaking ball in the outer edge, and very quickly 0-2.
It's really unheard of for a guy that have this kind of power arm. And a fastball anywhere from 95 to 97. But also has the finesse that he has with his breaking ball and his changeup.
Thought he had strike 3 there, but not so, said Mike Estabrook.
Comcast high speed pitch 96 with the fastball tonight for Felix. 78 with his changeup. Maybe a slow breaking ball.
Got him. Strike 3 on the outer edge. Thomas not so sure about the call. King Felix now with his 8th strikeout. Clete may have had a beef there. Well, the mark of a really good pitcher and a guy that you can count on your staff is how they do after your team loses, and they use the term stopper. Verlander has been a good one for the Tigers. Hernandez has been an outstanding stopper for Seattle. 11-3 following a Mariners loss, but his ERA is in the 2 range. 2.32.
Told you he walked 14 batters in his last 3 starts. There was some that thought he was getting a little tired. And Felix is on par to pitch at least 230 innings this year, which would be the most that he's ever pitched. He threw 200 last year, so now they have finally taken the kid gloves off the 23-year-old, and every now and then you do hit a wall. But he has hit no wall here tonight.
Swing and a miss. Inge down on strikes. Another strikeout for Hernandez, his 9th. 7 in the books. Still 1-1. It is still tied at 1 as we go to the 8th inning here at the ballpark. Tigers and Seattle in a dandy of a series opener here. Just 9 hits between the two teams. And close games are certainly nothing new for the Seattle Mariners. They've played a ton of them this season. 1-run games. They are 28-14. So Perry back to work, and he misses inside and low to Josh Wilson. What a job tonight by Felix Hernandez.
Felix may be done.
And that'll get into left field, a base hit.
He was getting some high fives in their dugout.
Here comes Jim Leyland meanwhile as you look at the numbers on Felix Hernandez. 9 strikeouts. So Perry gives up the leadoff single. First base runner against him tonight, and so the Tigers go back to the bullpen as Bobby C comes trotting in a 1-1 ball game.
Tigers.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic Tigers gear, including clubhouse caps and t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and a whole lot more. Get your Tigers gear straight from the source at the Tigers.com shop.
So it'll be Bobby C to take over for the Tigers in his 51st appearance out of the Detroit bullpen. They have leaned on him heavily this year. And he will face Ichiro. With the go-ahead runner on, each team with 5 hits. It is a 1-1 game in the 8th.
Suzuki does have the ability to bunt for a base hit in any direction, if Wakamatsu's thinking along those lines. And a lot of times when you see the pitcher throw over to first base in a somewhat of a bunting situation, the manager, in this case Jim Leyland, wants to see if Ichiro would tip, whether he's bunting or not.
Well, Seattle has been a team that has done it a lot. 47 sacrifices this year, the most in the American League. Well, they're second on that list, the Tigers, with 42. So these are the top 2 sacrificing teams in the AL.
Bruce Hines, third base coach for Don Wakamatsu, long-time Angels employee in the minor leagues, getting his first taste of the big leagues.
C throws back, and Wilson back in there. Well, Ichiro is at the top or near the top. A ton of different categories. The intentional walks is interesting. Got 12 of them this year.
That leads the American League.
Fouled straight back.
I mean, really, when you think about it, I mean, you got guys like Morneau, you got Teixeira, you got A-Rod. I mean, you got some big boys in the American League, and Ichiro leads the American League in intentional base on balls.
Yeah, Morneau is right behind him with 10, but that would not be the first guy that would come to mind. Ichiro, that is.
Gets a lot of hits, hand-eye coordination. And it's also one of the things that we talk about on occasion, that sometimes it's easier to go after one of those power hitters when there's a runner in scoring position versus going after a guy like Ichiro or Polanco, guys that don't strike out very often.
Ichiro this year has just 2 sacrifice bunts. Hasn't shown that he has, or that will, sacrifice in this at bat. And he bends out of the way of the pitch high, 2-1.
One of the reasons why we may have not seen Ichiro square the bunt is that Don Wakamatsu, one, knows that Ichiro has the uncanny ability to get tons of hits, but he also has the speed too, and unless he hits a bullet at somebody, he's not going to hit into a double play.
It would have to be hit hard right at a defender to double this guy up, and that looks like trouble down the right field line. It's going to drop. Base hit. Wilson headed to third base. He is in there. Ichiro has himself a 2-base hit, and here comes Seattle in the 8th. Single and a double. Now they are set up nicely here to break this tie.
It's just tough to pitch him. I mean, this is the ball. It's off the plate about a foot inside. Literally a foot off the plate inside. Somehow Ichiro gets his hands inside, hits that ball off the label, and finds some grass in fair territory.
He's even stumbling out of the box.
Look how far this ball is off the plate inside. Literally a foot off the plate inside. It's amazing.
Now here is Russell Branyan with nobody out. Take some kind of performance to pitch out of this jam here with runners at second and third. You've got the number 2 hitter, then Lopez. Branyan leads the team in walks with 54. He is also their team leader in on-base percentage.
Well, Bobby has 1 hitter to get more than likely, and hopefully he can get a strikeout here at Branyan without them scoring the run, and then Jim may go to his bullpen.
Way inside, 2-0. Porcello started this game. Perry came on in the 6th and got an out with the bases loaded to keep the game tied at 1. Then Porcello, or I should say Perry, struck out the side of the 7th. Lyon right now would be ready to go if needed. The 2-0 to Branyan, and it's 3 balls and no strikes.
Branyan is one guy that Don Wakamatsu will green light right here. It's 3-0, but he's got tremendous power, 27 home runs. Would not be shocked if he got the fastball he was looking for, if he didn't let it all hang out.
High fly ball into right field. This should be deep enough. Let's see. Thomas has a good arm. Catch is made, and Cleat will fire it back into the infield. Sacrifice fly for Russell Branyan. Ichiro also moves up to third base, and the tie is broken. It is now 2-1 Seattle.
He did give Branyan the green light, knowing that Bobby C was not going to walk him, and he got a fastball right down the middle, and he just missed it. That classic uppercut swing that Branyan has, but he does do the job.
Ichiro also moved his way down to third, so he is in prime scoring position with only 1 out.
We have seen Don Wakamatsu squeeze a couple of times against the Tigers this year, but it won't be Lopez that gets the opportunity, and Griffey won't do it.
Intentional walk for Lopez. Seattle, as you might expect, with Ichiro leading the way, has the most intentional walks in the American League, 32. And here comes ball 3, missing outside. So they'll put the right-hander aboard, and they will pitch to the lefty Griffey, who is 0 for 5 against Bobby C in his career. Here's ball 4 outside. Intentional walk is complete. And here comes Griffey. Griffey had a base on balls in his last at bat. He was the last batter that Porcello faced. Perry came on and got Gutierrez to fly out with the bases loaded. Seattle breaks the tie with a run here in the 8th. Meanwhile, it looks like Felix Hernandez will be out of the game, and Mark Lowe warming up. Griffey takes ball 1. 0 for 2 tonight for Griffey. And 1.
Usually when you see the catcher set up right down the heart of the plate as Avila was there, it is a breaking ball or some type of a changeup. Fastballs they tend to set up on the corners.
If you're thinking double play, Griffey has knocked into 6 this year. Trying to pick up Ichiro at third base. High fly ball. Shallow left center. Granderson measuring it. Ichiro tagging. Granderson catches. He'll let it fly. Here comes Ichiro, and he'll score. Both runners move up. Sac fly for Ken Griffey Jr. and a 3-1 Seattle lead.
You don't have to hit it very deep for Ichiro to score. I think this was the right call in the outfield. You know that Carlos Guillen not throwing well, still having some problems with his shoulder. So Granderson calls him off and makes a strong throw home, but you can't get Ichiro.
So the RBIs both on sac flies to Branyan and Ken Griffey. 2 gone for Franklin Gutierrez. And they're going to get another intentional walk, with Hanahan due up next. And first base open. Gutierrez will not hit. They will set it up against the lefty. Second intentional walk in the inning. Lopez got the other. Comes ball 4, and there's your intentional walk. So put Gutierrez on. First time he reaches tonight. And C now will face the lefty Hanahan. Tigers have been out hit in this one 6-5 as we play in the 8th. The Mariners break the 1-1 tie with 2 runs. It's the 7th man to bat in the inning. Perry gave up the leadoff single to Josh Wilson, and that run has come around to score. Hanahan 0 for 3. Ball 4-1 to Hanahan. Came over in a July trade on the 11th from the Oakland Athletics. Inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Bobby C has thrown a lot out of the strike zone here. Of course, he's walked a couple intentionally, but he's given up the 2 sac flies. Brandon and Griffey gave up the double to Ichiro on a pitch that appeared to be out of the strike zone. And another one that misses. 3 balls, no strikes. Johnson waiting on deck. Meanwhile, Chicago has gone up against the Royals 4-1. That's in the bottom of the 3rd. Mesh against Freddie Garcia. The pitching matchup appeared to be in the favor of the Royals tonight, but it's Chicago in the lead. Way inside, ball 4. That's going to reload the bases. So they're filled. 3rd walk in the inning for Bobby, 2 of them intentional. And Rob Johnson due up. This is where Jim Leland a lot of times will keep Bobby C in because his numbers against right-handed batters are almost as good as they are against lefties. Lions still watching from the Tigers bullpen. There's a strike on the outer edge. Right-handers bat just .220 against Bobby C. Lefties came in batting .213. Now it's 0-2. Johnson, the 8th man to bat in the inning. He's 0 for 3 in this game. We've got Lopez at 3rd base. Gutierrez at 2nd. And down at 1st, Jack Hanahan. Way outside, 1-2. Fly ball, right field, shallow. Thomas coming on. They will leave him loaded, not before getting 2 runs to break the tie. 8 men to the plate. Seattle now on top 3-1. brought to you by Comerica Bank, standing the test of time since 1849. Back here at Comerica Park, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, 3-1 in favor of Seattle. They scored 2 in the top of the 8th, breaking the 1-all tie. And now the Tigers have to go to work. Good news is Mark Lowe is on instead of Felix Hernandez, who is done for the evening, although Lowe has not been a real picnic this year.
Lowe has been probably one of the best at his job this year, and that's coming in and pitching the 8th inning. He has 20 holds. He's got almost a strikeout per inning. He's not walking many people, and he comes right after you with mid-90s fastballs. No secret with Lowe.
Alex Avila leads it off, and Adam Everett, and then Curtis Granderson. 8, 9, and 1 in Jim Leland's lineup, down by a pair as we play in the bottom of the 8th. Avila has fanned twice in this game. And he lost one in the air, hit well, left center field. It's carrying way back, and that ball is gone. Avila has gone deep again, this time to left center field, his 3rd of the year already. Tigers down by a run.
The youngster Avila knows the scouting report on Lowe. He knows he's going to get a fastball. He saw the first one at 96. He timed the second one at 96 and caught it perfectly and went out into the Seattle Mariner bullpen. What a pretty swing by the youngster.
395 feet worth as Ramon Santiago pinch hits against Lowe. And all of a sudden it's a 1-run game. Tigers have a little bit of life on the home run. Santiago bats .251.
If you're Santiago here, you got to take a pitch. 2-0, you need a base runner. You don't have to be in a hurry to swing at this fastball, even though it may be right down the middle. Good job.
6 miles an hour to run it to 2-1.
It's a good job. It's knowing the situation.
Lowe, 26 years old, out of Houston, Texas. Chased one out of the strike zone there at 97, 2-2.
Kind of hard to lay off that pitch with that velocity because you got to start early. But to the best of your ability, you have to make Lowe get the ball down in the strike zone. Every fastball that he has thrown, with the exception of the 2-0 pitch, has been up.
Fouled away. Tigers had gotten their only run in the 2nd inning tonight, but Alex Avila hits one out here in the 8th to make it 3-2. Now it's 3-2 on Santiago. Wow.
And the 2 pitches that he threw to the youngster, Alex Avila, they were both 96-mile-per-hour fastballs.
Rifled into right field, base hit. So the Tigers put the tying run on.
Big league hitters, it fascinates me the hand-eye coordination they have to hit a fastball at this velocity. Nice easy swing by Santiago. Really all he wants to do is touch it, because the velocity that Lowe is featuring, that's all you have to do is touch it. Great at bat by Santiago.
Tigers now have 7 hits, and they have put the tying run aboard now as Rick Adair comes out and has a little chat with Lowe and catcher Johnson.
The Tigers have already stolen a couple of bases in this game. Santiago's not a true base stealer, but he has the ability to steal. But what Don Wakamatsu's relievers do very well is they waste very little time getting the ball to the catcher.
Sean White in their bullpen. Wakamatsu.
They want Hanahan to come in, but I don't know. I don't think Hanahan's front here, but we'll see.
One strike on Curtis, who had a difficult night tonight against Hernandez. He struck out 3 times against him. Gene Lamont running through signs down at third base. Brandy gives a look.
Wakamatsu, former catcher, handles the running game himself for his squad.
Popped him up. Foul ground first base side for Branyan, and that is a big out for Mark Lowe. One away and an 0 for 4 night tonight for Brandy. He's going to bring up Polanco. Placido had a single in the first inning. Tigers swiped the bag back in the second when Thomas walked, stole a base, and scored. Everett also stole a base back in the second. Strike one in the outer edge.
It's going to be tough to steal off Lowe. He's pretty quick to the plate.
Santiago has attempted 2 stolen bases this year, and he has been successful 0 times. He's been caught twice. Oh, and 1 on Placido Polanco. Another strike on the outside corner. Polanco watched that one right into the glove of Rob Johnson.
Well, that's paint right there on the outer black. They want this one off the plate outside.
Bouncing ball hit to the shortstop. Off the glove of Wilson into short left field. Santiago coming to third. He's in standing up. And the Tigers are in business here in the 8th. Wilson tried to short hop that ball. Couldn't do it.
He played it into an air. If he simply stays back, he gets 1 out at second base. But I don't know if he thought he was going to get 2 or what. But he played this ball into a bad hop and he couldn't make the play.
Tying run is at third base. The go-ahead run is at first base and only 1 out. And here is Carlos Guillen. He's 0 for 3. Each side with an error. The E6 opening the door here for the Tigers in the 8th.
That's a good pitch. The majority of the pitches that Lowe has thrown since coming in have been fastballs. But he got Granderson to pop up on a slider, and he got him a strike call there with a hanging slider in a fastball count.
Well, good numbers against Mark Lowe. 3 for 4 for Cardinals, including a home run.
It really doesn't matter how many breaking balls Lowe throws you. You still have to sit on your fastball and be ready for it.
Way outside, 3 balls and 1 strike with Cabrera lurking on deck. Not an enviable position to be in right now for Mark Lowe.
And again, just needs to make sure he lays off the high fastball, which is where Lowe has thrown most of his fastballs today.
And there's ball 4. That loads the bases. And it pushes the go-ahead run into scoring position.
Tigers hitters have had some outstanding at-bats here in the 8th inning.
You've got the bases loaded. You've got your cleanup hitter coming up next in Miguel Cabrera. With a couple of grand slams in his back pocket and a .430 career average with the bases loaded. And the Tigers this year are tied with the White Sox for the American League lead in grand slams with 6. Cabrera 2 for 3 today. And he waves and misses 0-1. Slice to center field, base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Polanco rounding third. They'll send him home. He will score. And Cabrera gets it done with his 3rd hit tonight. The Tigers lead 4-3. Oh, how big that error by Wilson turns out to be.
First pitch, breaking ball. The second pitch was a fastball right down the middle. Cabrera singles sharply right back up the middle. I thought they had a play on Polanco at home plate, but the first baseman, Russell Branyan, cut that ball, which allowed Polanco to come in sliding safely with the Tigers' 4th run of the night.
And their 2nd lead of the night. Not a good night tonight for Mark Lowe. He will depart, and they go to the bullpen. We'll be back with the Tigers leading at 4-3.
setup man very often without him doing the job, but that's the case today. But take a look at the fastballs, and that's all he gave up today were fastballs. One to Avila, he took him deep. Santiago 3-2 pitch, and then you have the 0-1 fastball taken right back up the middle by Cabrera to drive in 2 runs here. Lowe had a good fastball today, but the location wasn't good.
And the Tigers got the inning jump started by Alex Avila's home run to make it 3-2, and Cabrera has cashed in a 2-run single. Ryan Rayburn has come on a pinch run at second base for Guillen. Here is Aubrey Huff. He is 1 for 3. Looking for some insurance runs. Strike 1 on Huff.
Huff was talking before the game today and said he's never played with a player the caliber of a Miguel Cabrera. And he feels like he's going to get lots of opportunities to do what he's looking to do right now with runners in scoring position, driving runs.
And another run at least would look awesome here in this inning as Sean White checks in for Seattle.
Well, we told you Seattle's got the best pitching in the league, so just about everybody they bring out of their bullpen is going to come out with really good numbers. And White no different.
Tigers have turned a 3-1 deficit into a 4-3 lead with a 3-run 8th, and they're still in business. Only 1 out. That's driven in the air to center field and hit well. Gutierrez on the run. He's going to get there right in front of the warning track. Rayburn will tag, and he will come to third. He's in there sliding.
Good base running by Rayburn. Really good base running by Ryan Rayburn.
Aubrey Huff hit that ball a ton. But there's a lot of room out there in center field here at Comerica.
Yeah, Aubrey probably going back to the dugout saying that's out of Camden Yards.
Now it's going to be Cleet Thomas with 2 away. Cleet 0 for 2, walked, scored a run, stole a base back in the second. Ball 1. 5 runs have been scored in this inning, 2 by Seattle, 3 by the Tigers. Ball 2. Meanwhile, with the Tigers taking the lead, it looks like it's going to be another opportunity for Fernando Rodney. In the Tigers bullpen. Oh, they've got Cabrera picked off. The fake to third and the throw to first. Throw home. Save! Rayburn scores! Wow.
Stolen base. It's a nice job by Rayburn timing this perfectly. Usually there are outs at home plate on this particular play, but Rayburn has done a nice job of base running in this inning. Once you get that first baseman running aggressively towards second base, that's when you pick the time to go, and Rayburn did that perfectly and was able to get in there with a slide, left hand getting in there.
A huge run for the Tigers. Thomas skies one to left field, moving over his Langerhans. He is under it to retire the side. So the Tigers with a big inning, a 4-run 8th. Langerhans, Wilson, and Ichiro coming up in the 9th. AT DET, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. And we have some defensive changes for the Tigers as we go now to the ninth inning. It'll be Ryan Rayburn staying in the game. He'll play left field. And Ramon Santiago stays in the game to play shortstop. And as you expected, the new pitcher is Fernando Rodney.
Rodney's been outstanding this year. 24 of 25 in save opportunities. The earned run average is shade over 3.5. And he is pretty much averaging a strikeout per inning with 25 walks to go along with the 48 strikeouts.
So 3 outs to get, and the Tigers have themselves a comeback win tonight. 5-3 as we go to the ninth inning. It'll be Ryan Langerhans to lead it off against Fernando.
And it would be an impressive win if they're able to pull it off.
In a game started by Felix Hernandez and Rick Porcello, both were outstanding in this one tonight. Neither will get a decision. Rodney throws a strike, 1-1. Fernando facing the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in this lineup. Strike call, 1-2. Bouncing ball back up the middle. It's going to get through. It's a leadoff single for Ryan Langerhans. Squeaks that one through the infield. And 7 hits now for Seattle. He's going to bring up Josh Wilson. He's had himself a big night out of the number 9 slot. He's homered. He has singled. He has scored twice. Tying run at the plate right now. Ball 1. Two balls, no strikes. Career high 24 saves for Fernando Rodney. Trying to throw another one in the save column. He has finished 45 games this year, which leads the American League. Tigers have used him quite a bit. Strike called on Wilson. 2-2 at 96 with a fastball. Obviously much better in save situations this year for the Tigers. A paltry 1.44 ERA. And the save is on the line. And a bouncing ball hits slowly toward the shortstop. They'll fire to second and get the out there. That's all they could get. Santiago to Polanco. 1 out.
It's a nice job here by Santiago, not forcing the issue. Obviously the ball's not hit very hard, but you have to make sure you get 1 out. And out of the corner of the eye, he knows exactly where the base runner is, and they're able to get Langerhans by an eyelash at second. We saw last half inning where Wilson, the shortstop, kind of forced the issue, and that kind of opened the floodgates for the Tigers.
Big play, that E6, which was followed by a walk and then the 2-run single by Cabrera. Swing and a miss by Ichiro.
86 with that change piece from Rodney. Well, Ichiro does what Ichiro does best. That's just get tons of hits.
He's got 3 more tonight. Another changeup. 0-2. How can Rodney put him away? toward first, foul. 2 the count stays on Ichiro. Doubled and scored back in the 8th. The failed attempt by Lee Tinsley to hand out a souvenir.
So I'll flip it up there a little further this time.
Ichiro is the hardest to double up in the American League. Lines this one to center. That's a base hit. Headed to third base. Here's Wilson, and now the tying runs are on. It's only a 4-hit game for Ichiro, that's all.
Let's take a look at our bell tire pitch by pitch. First 2 pitches to Ichiro, changeups. He's looking for a fastball. The first one swings through it. He takes the second one for a strike. This next pitch was a fastball down that somehow he fouled off, and 1 too many changeups from Rodney. As good as Ichiro is, you cannot throw him 3 changeups in any one sequence and not expect him to center one of them. And Rodney has one of the best changeups in baseball.
Each side now with 8 hits, and here comes Russell Branyan, who has power to change the look of this game very quickly.
He gonna hit a ground ball, hit a double play.
Wave and a miss, no balls and 1 strike on Branyan, who sacrificed fly, knocked in a run back in the 8th. He's already hit 1 double play ball. That was back in the 1st against Porcello. Runner going, Ichiro. Here comes the throw down to second. It's high, and now the tying runs in scoring position.
That's why being able to hold runners on late in games, if you're an 8th inning guy or a 9th inning guy, is big. And that's just a huge steal for Ichiro. Huge steal.
Vila out to the mound, have a chat with Rodney. 4-run Tigers 8th has given them a 2-run lead, but Seattle coming right back here with runners at second and third. Ichiro's just swiped his 24th. Swing and a miss. Branyan down on strikes. What a big strikeout for Rodney. That is the 12th strikeout for Tigers pitching tonight. 1 more out to get, though. Here is Lopez. Swing and a miss. Whoa. Barely got the bat through the strike zone.
This is what they talk about when they say slowing a hitter's bat down. He slowed his bat down.
3 for 8 career against Rodney with 3 strikeouts. Lopez, though, has been their best RBI man this year. And he rolls one foul. He hooked it back toward the dugout, and the count is 0-2.
He needs another bat, too.
$33,710 on their feet right now, looking for a Tigers comeback win. He just got a piece of it to stay alive. Lopez still kicking.
We have seen some guys in this game with big arms. Started with Porcello and Hernandez and Rodney now in the mid to upper 90s.
Meanwhile, Kansas City has come back to tie Chicago. That's 4-4 in the 5th inning. Tigers trying to put the finishing touches on this one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again in '98 for Fernando Rodney. Well, we'd rather not face that guy. Griffey waiting on deck. 2-2 on Jose Lopez. Outside, and now the count fills. 3 balls, 2 strikes. One more strike to get for Fernando Rodney. Crowd cheering him on. They're chanting his name, Rodney. 3-2 pitch. Fouled away. Lopez is 0 for 3. Was walked intentionally his last time up. And he came into this game with 26 RBIs in his last 23 games. This is the guy they want up right here with 2 outs, and a base hit could tie it. He has worked Rodney for 8 pitches so far. This will be the 9th in this at bat. Grounded foul again.
Rodney has thrown Lopez everything. A mixture of fastballs and changeups, and Lopez continues to spoil good 2-strike pitches.
25 pitch inning for Fernando.
Somewhat stressful for sure.
And another foul at home plate. Lopez turning out to be a tough customer here. A nail biter for both managers, Leland and Wakamatsu. Back and forth game. Here again comes the 3-2 pitch. Popped up foul, back out of play. What a battle this has turned into.
It's pretty much been fastball changeup to Lopez. Fastball in the mid-80s. Fastball in the upper 90s. Changeup in the mid-80s.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and Rodney finishes him off.
They shake hands again. That seems to be the case when Fernando's on the mound. They shake hands at the end of the game.
13 strikeouts for Tigers pitching. The Tigers now 55-0